Are you looking for top 10 best things to do in Sydney, Australia? Sydney's well-known seashores are a number of the town's maximum famous points of interest for locals and traffic alike. Although they could get crowded on heat Aussie days, seashores like Coogee, Bondi, and Manly can't be missed. And if you'll instead take to the water, exploring Darling Harbour or Sydney Harbour with the aid of using boat is a have-to. Sydney Harbour additionally gives high perspectives of a number of the town's maximum well-known landmarks, such as the Sydney Opera House and the Sydney Harbour Bridge. There are lots of museums to discover, too, together with the Hyde Park Barracks Museum, the Art Gallery of New South Wales and the Australian National Maritime Museum, whilst the Royal Botanic Garden and the Rocks community are best for a leisurely stroll. Number 1. Sydney Harbour Bridge. The Sydney Harbour Bridge stands subsequent to the Opera House as one of the town's maximum iconic landmarks, lovingly referred to as the coat hanger with the aid of using locals. This towering shape is one of the world's biggest metal arch bridges, and whilst you could seize beautiful pics of the bridge from one in every of Sydney Harbour's ferry boats, for an unforgettable revel in, join up for a bridge climb through Bridge Climb Sydney, ranging from almost 4 hours in length. The bridge climb affords traffic with panoramic perspectives of the harbour, the Sydney skyline, and the Opera House. Although a few former traffic complained of the excessive rate tags, many stated the bridge climbs are the high-quality manner to revel in this iconic attraction, calling it a have-to-do revel in. While climbs are presented in the course of the day each day, tourists advise scheduling a climb at twilight, so that you can come up with 3 distinctive perspectives: daylight, sundown, and nighttime in one. If you are fearful of heights, reviewers nevertheless propose you take into account the revel in because the team of workers is well educated that will help you triumph over your anxieties. To get to the Sydney Harbour Bridge, traffic can take a ferry below it, pressure or stroll through it, or climb to the pinnacle of it. Bus and educate drop-offs, metered parking and numerous parking plenty also are to be had close to Circular Quay. The coat hanger is loose to view and stroll across. However, there may be a toll to pressure at the bridge, in addition to a one-manner fare for ferries. The maximum highly priced choice, the bridge climb, expenses among all $168 and offer $103, relying at the season, time of day, and form of climb. Each bridge climb price consists of a complimentary organization pictograph and bridge climb cap. Restrooms and a present store also are to be had in the Bridge Climb Sydney Tourist Centre. Number 2. Sydney Harbour. Many traffic say that Sydney Harbour's 150 miles of coastline and greater than 30 rectangular miles of water make it the maximum stunning herbal harbour with inside the world, and that they simply is probably right. Blue water laps as much as sandy seashore lines over which landmarks just like the Royal Botanic Garden and the Sydney Opera House preside. Another iconic website online. The Sydney Harbour Bridge towers above the harbour's waters, but for the high-quality view of Sydney Harbour, tourists have to pay a go to Mrs. Macquarie's chair, which sits on the tip of one of the region's peninsulas. Overall, former traffic rave approximately the harbour, noting that the ferry rides are scenic and that there are lots of stores and eating places to discover nearby. For even greater picturesque perspectives, attempt taking a ferry at sundown whilst the sky comes alive with an array of colors. The harbour's points of interest additionally come alive for the duration of Sydney's New Year's Eve celebrations, and in May and June whilst the yearly Vivid Sydney Colour Pageant takes vicinity. Sydney Harbour is loose to go to. However, some of the community's points of interest have in front price, so plan accordingly. Travelers can stroll here, hop a ferry from Circular Quay or park at one of the attractions' parking plenty. There also are public restrooms and an array of eating places, parks and stores in the course of. Number 3. Sydney Opera House. Designed with the aid of using Danish architect Jornutson, the sailboat stimulated shape, submitted for the duration of a global layout contest held in 1956. Capabilities greater than 1 million tiles on its 4 roof shells and 6 theatre and track venues with pinnacle notch acoustics. Bold red carpeting and sweeping perspectives of Sydney Harbour and the Sydney Harbour Bridge additionally wait for traffic with inside the Sydney Opera House's foyer, whilst a picturesque boardwalk, entire with a state-of-the-art bar, sits outside. While looking at track live performance or opera, overall performance is a have-to for the ones inclined to splurge for the duration of their go-to. A greater low-cost choice that many traffic advise is one of the Opera House's excursions, offered daily from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The principal excursion takes tourists on a 1-hour walkthrough of the long-lasting Sydney shape. Another excursion choice is the Behind the Curtain excursion, which is obtainable at 7 a.m. and consists of breakfast and an hour behind the scenes have a take to observe the property's diverse venues. Whichever you choose, traffic rave approximately the well-knowledgeable guides. Standard excursions on the Sydney Opera House are held in numerous languages and value $42 for adults and $22 for children. Family tickets, which consist of adults and children, value $105. And discounted tickets are presented for seniors and college students 16 and older. Tickets for the backstage tour will run everyone $175. A fundamental excursion, however, is blanketed for traffic with an iVenture card. Property facilities consist of restrooms, 4 eateries, more than 1 bars and an on-website online present store. The Opera House additionally has a parking lot. Number 4. Manly Beach. At first glance, Manly Beach, that's placed approximately 10 miles northeast of downtown Sydney, can be simply as crowded and lively as different region seashores like Bondi and Coogee. However, this sprawling coastline attracts lots of reward from beachgoers, in element due to its distance from the town and high browsing waves. Those who are hoping to swim, 11 though, can also additionally need to mission someplace else when you consider that those waters are acknowledged for his or her tough waves. Former tourists additionally propose arriving early if you are making plans a weekend ride and need to conquer the crowds. Within the on-the-spot region, traffic can revel in all types of facilities, such as eating places and cafes, bushwalks, playgrounds, barbecue areas, stores and public restrooms and showers. Most Sydneysiders and traffic select attending to Manly with the aid of using manner of the Circular Quay to Manly Ferry. There also are speedy ferries, which get traffic to Manly from Circular Quay in approximately half of the time of the everyday Manly Ferry. Various buses may even get you to the region, 11 though there may be no direct bus direction from Sydney. 4 public parking plenty, which give up to 2 hours of loose parking, are to be had close to the seaside as well. Number 5. The Rocks. Earning its call from the sandstone rocks that line Sydney Harbour, this community is as old-fashioned as its miles cool. Its cobblestone streets and 19th century homes are oh so charming. However, the stores, pubs, eating places and galleries are very amusing and really au courant. Plus, its high vicinity subsequent to points of interest just like the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge makes this state-of-the-art community extraordinarily handy for tourists, though the community gives lots to discover any day of the week. On weekends, the region capabilities and arts and crafts marketplace and a foodie marketplace. Some previous traffic warning that the marketplace gadgets may be a piece pricey. However, in addition, they word those items are a greater precise opportunity to the stereotypical Sydney souvenirs discovered in different components of the town. Other traffic virtually loved exploring the region and finding out the anciental architecture. To get to the Rocks, traffic can take a ferry, bus or educate to Circular Quay, after which stroll some blocks northwest. Most shops in the Rocks are open from 10 a.m. to 5 or 6 p.m. daily, whilst cafes, eating places and bars are open in the course of the day and evening. The Rocks Friday foodie market takes place from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Fridays, and the Rocks markets take vicinity each Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The community itself is loose to go to, however you will need to convey cash for meals and shopping. And when you have an iVenture card, take benefit of the Loose on Foot excursion blanketed on your card's buy price. Also, download the Loose Walking the Rocks phone app for anciental context approximately the region. Number 6. Coogee Beach. Though it is a piece smaller than its higher recognized northern counterpart Bondi, Coogee Beach is the imperative spot for the ones seeking to take in a few solar and swim in Sydney's well-known waters. Snorkeling is likewise a famous interest right here, and the scenic, almost 4-mile Bondi to Coogee coastal stroll is a have-to. Plus, the eateries alongside the shore deliver seashore bums numerous locations to refuel. Thanks to its much less crowded atmosphere, picturesque pudding and calmer waters, beachgoers raved approximately their time at Coogee, calling the seashore terrify and an extremely good area to observe the solar set. According to current site visitors, the meals is likewise pinnacle notch. However, no matter the perk of loose parking, areas are restricted, so plan to reach early if using. Coogee Beach sits approximately 7 miles southeast of Sydney Harbour and is on the market through bus NOS 373 or 374 from Circular Quay. This seashore has on obligation lifeguards, in addition to restrooms, cafes, stores, grills and seashore volleyball courts. Coogee is loose to go to. However, after making a decision to bypass on a seashore swim in desire of a dip in one of the vicinity's beachfront baths, anticipate to pay a small front charge and word that McIvers is simplest open to ladies and children. Number 7. Darling Harbour. Darling Harbour is a pedestrian district full of some of pleasing matters to do. For instance, you may locate the most important movie display screen with Inside the Global on the LG IMAX Theatre Sydney. In addition to the Australian National Maritime Museum and the Harbourside Shopping Centre, multiple kid-pleasant sites and the city's conference middle also are determined right here. Now no longer to say a few delectable cafes and eating places. Travelers who go to the Darling Harbour vicinity rave approximately the abundance of stores, sports and eating places offered, calling it colorful and active area to go to, and perfect hangout for families, couples and solo vacationers alike. Many word that this bustling harbour network is higher than its extra famous counterpart, Sydney Harbour, make positive to test out the district's numerous avenue performances. And on Saturdays, live for the 9 p.m. fireworks display that's loose to view and gets lots of praise. You'll locate Darling Harbour with inside the coronary heart of Sydney, neighbouring Chinatown, Cockle Bay and the King Street Wharf. The vicinity is loose to go to, 11 though a lot of its sites price an admission charge. From Circular Quay, site visitors can take a brief ferry journey to Darling Harbour. The mild rail has stations, Paddy's Market and Pyrmont Bay, with inside the neighbourhood, and vehicle parks and water taxi docks also can be determined. Number 8. Royal Botanic Garden. Founded in 1816, the 74-acre Royal Botanic Garden abounds with shiny and colorful vegetation and fauna. The park is damaged into more than one regions, together with the Australian Rainforest Garden and the Palm Grove. That's domestic to the tallest tree with inside the gardens. Another famous vicinity is the Palace Rose Garden, which homes almost 1,800 roses and is a famous Sydney wedding ceremony venue. Recent site visitors additionally stated the view of the Harbour Bridge is every other spotlight right here. According to a few preceding vacationers, a go-to the Royal Botanic Garden gives a welcome wreck from the hustle and bustle of the city. Food from the belongings as eating places and cafes additionally gets excessive praise. Specifically the Botanic Gardens Cafe's picnic boxes, located alongside Sydney Harbour inside strolling distance of the Hyde Park Barracks Museum and Mrs. Macquarie's chair. The Royal Botanic Garden is loose to go to, 11 though unique activities will usually require an front charge. The gardens are open each day of the 12 months, however have various hours relying at the month. Still, they may be assured to be open among 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. In addition to the gardens and eateries, the belongings additionally has a present shop. To get to the Royal Botanic Garden, vacationers can stroll from the ferry terminal at Circular Quay, take the No. 200 or No. 441 buses or hop a Educate to the Martin Place station. If you would alternatively keep away from public transportation, using to the gardens is every other option. Number 9. Mrs. Macquarie's chair. In 1810, Governor Lachlan Macquarie commissioned a bench for his wife, and the city's convicts obliged him with the aid of using carving Mrs. Macquarie's chair out of a sandstone rock overlooking Sydney Harbour. To this day, the landmark stays a pinnacle enchantment way to its location, which gives picture-best perspectives of the Sydney Opera House and the Sydney Harbour Bridge inside an unmarried frame. It's now no longer surprising, then, that site visitors rave approximately the photo ops right here. Although it could get crowded at times, many say it is properly really well worth the go-to, specifically for unique activities just like the Sydney New Year's Eve fireworks display and the Australia Day Harbour Parade. Several additionally advise arriving with inside the morning to get the nice lights on your photos. You'll locate Mrs. Macquarie's chair simply north of the Royal Botanic Garden. You may even observe a route from the Botanic Garden known as Mrs. Macquarie's Bushland Walk, which leads you to the chair. This loose enchantment does not provide extra centers like restrooms, an automobile parking space, or on web page dining. However, the surrounding vicinity has numerous eateries and avenue parking alternatives to be had. The No. 441 bus brings vacationers inside strolling distance even as 3 Educate stations, Circular Quay, Martin Place and St. James, take a seat down approximately a mile away. Number 10. Bondi Beach. Bondi Beach is nice, recognized for its gnarly waves, which make it one of the pinnacle browsing locations with inside the global. But if you are now no longer prepared to grasp 10, do not fret. Bondi is likewise pleasant for strolling, sunbathing and swimming. Despite its popularity, Bondi keeps an alternative, edgy feel. Topless sunbathing is authorized right here as properly. 11 Though it is in the main restricted to regions without children. Almost universally, site visitors stated the 6-mile trek to Bondi is a have-to and that the seashore is one of the maximum lovely with inside the global. To declare a high spot at the sand, arrive early. Many former site visitors additionally advise putting apart time for one of the region's coastal walks. Both the Bondi to Coogee stroll and the Bondi to Brunt stroll provide superwater perspectives and enjoyable spots for picnics. The nice manner to get to Bondi Beach, that's southeast of Sydney Harbour, is with the aid of using Educate or bus. From Central Station, you may take a Educate Certain for Bondi Junction, after which hop aboard the No. 333 bus to attain the seashore. If you would alternatively pass the Educate, site visitors also can choose up the No. 380 bus from Circular Quay. Limited parking is likewise to be had. 11 Though using right here isn't always advocated because of the crowds. A go to Bondi is loose, however anticipate to pay for vicinity facilities like meals and souvenirs. Public lavatories and outside showers that are positioned for the duration of the beachfront vicinity also are loose to use. Also